What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the afternoon live show. It is the Investing Bros. Unfortunately, there's only one of us, though. It's just me, Tim. But we're going to have a lot of fun talking mostly today about altcoins. We will discuss Bitcoin. We'll discuss the last night crash in all of altcoins and Bitcoin's price action. But the rally that has started today, is that the sign of the bottom, or do we have further to go? We're going to discuss that and a whole lot more. As you can hear, I want you guys to know my voice is a little off. I might even lose it as we go through because I'm going to keep the energy high. If for some reason I squeak or I crack, don't make fun of me. I don't know what's going on. I was sick earlier this week and my throat just have gotten very weak. So not necessarily going to be the strongest vocal performance, but it's still going to be a great show. If you guys are excited about the show, you got to smash the like button. And if you love the channel, maybe you haven't done this yet, maybe you just found us, but you love the first minute of the show, hit subscribe as well. But first, before we get into all of those details, let's roll the intro. All right, everybody. I see a couple people in chat. We're going to have a lot of Q&A today, hopefully. I always love to have a lot of chat with you guys. Some things, a couple people in here asking about Cardano. The truth is, I could talk about Cardano. It's not in my planned notes. That's why it's not in the thumbnail. It's not in others. Cardano is down. It's bouncing back up. It's pretty resilient, but it's down. I think that tomorrow, if we get to Q&A and everyone wants to talk about Cardano, we can do it. But I'm mostly going to talk about Cardano tomorrow. Today, I have a couple other coins I think are a little bit more important to discuss. Also, I see you guys in here. Let's see. We just saw, well, this poll is now covering it. Give me just a second. Senza said, Tim, someone at my local beach got pretty horribly attacked by a shark yesterday. Not even joking. I know. And I wasn't joking yesterday either, or maybe it wasn't yesterday, it was the day before. It was Wednesday. When I say I don't trust the waters, I'm watching the sharks come in. What do we say? They're called shivers. Sharks are in shivers on shivers on shivers this year down in the Gulf and the Atlantic coast. I cannot remember a time, and I grew up in Florida. I was born in Virginia, but grew up in Florida, went to the beach quite often. I do not remember a time where I've seen this many sharks and this many shark attacks this early into the summer. We are just now getting into July. Summer's not even halfway through, and I already think we're setting some American records for shark attacks. You guys didn't come for shark attacks, though. You came for crypto, and that is what we're going to do. Again, if you're gonna be here for a while, smash the like button. It gets more people in here. We always like when people come in and join the show, get to hear some great stuff. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the markets. I'm going to try to stay on track today, but you know it's a Tim show, so we really could go anywhere and everywhere at the same exact time. It's still a red day, but I want to explain to you why. This is covering the last 24 hours. So over the last 24 hours, there still are a couple green coins here. Quant is green, WIF is green, XTZ is green. Didn't want to click on that. DYDX is green, eGold is green, DOT's green. That's crazy. DOT is green. People have been funding that one for a while now. Toncoin is green, VeChain's green, Solana's green. So you do see some green on the daily, but you got to remember, this is over the last 24 hours. 24 hours ago, yes, most of crypto prices were much higher than they are right now. So this looks pretty bad, but I want to make you guys to feel a little positive before we get away from the bubbles. Take a look at the hourly chart. There are a couple red ones. ONDO, we're going to talk about ONDO today. ICP is heavily in the red, but there's a lot of green here in the weekly, or sorry, in the hourly. And if you want to get really positive, this is actually a very good perspective to start the show off after a dip like last night. Let's go to the year. If you bought crypto a year ago, where are we since then? Some of these coins, Bonk, again, not my favorite, not a meme coin guy, but up 6,400%. Floki is up, again, not a big Floki guy, but Caspa is 660. FET is up 433. Jasmy hiding over here, 438. Render, 236. So it's always good. Even Bitcoin is up 86% in the last year. It's always good to get some perspective on the positives long term before you get into the nitty gritty and try to get a little bearish and bullish and bearish and bullish. Dave Digital saying, is that a frog in your throat, Tim? Or are you just very bullish on Pepe? I don't know what's in my throat. I'm telling you right now, I got salt water right here. Let's go out of this for a second. I'm going to get to the markets here in a second. Got salt water. Got to stay hydrated in case I drink all of that to keep lubricating my throat. I got some bottled water right here. And if it really gets rough, listen, I'm not going to end the show early. I also have shout out to Halls. Now, I want to make sure you guys understand. I joked about this before, that we joked that someone wasn't sponsoring us, so we were mad at them. I don't care. Go get Halls. They don't sponsor the channel, but they do work from time to time to help sore throats and whatnot. So yes, I have a frog in my throat. Yes, it's going to be embarrassing throughout the show. Yes, I'm going to do the whole show. And yes, we're going to come back tomorrow and do it as well. So get ready for 2 days. You guys liked the old pixelated Tim? Well, for the next 2 days, you get frog voice, Tim. I'm trying to be like Mahomes, if you guys are football fans. Let's get back into it. Let's take a look at what else is happening in the market. As you said, yearly, it's very green. Day, we're still in the red. I want to take a look, though, before we look at other things, though, take a look at a couple coins. When you're looking in trading view, still see a lot of red since the opening, but there's a couple coins that we're going to talk about that are pretty heavily in the green since the daily chart opened. Solana, up almost 6% since the daily chart opened. We're going to talk more about that one later. AVAX is up 2.5%. DOT is up 5.4%. You got HBAR's up. VeChain is up. Are there any other big movers? Well, this one's Solana over Bitcoin. Solana over Bitcoin, a little bit of a tear today, up 7%. Comp is up. Pepe is up. So even though we like to look at the last 24 hours, I think it's always a good perspective to take a look at what have we done since the daily candle has opened. And speaking of the daily candle, again, I'm not even in the TA yet, but we're looking at the charts here. I want to make sure you understand what I'm about to tell you, the significance. I talked about it in the morning video this morning, but we're going to talk about it again today. So last night, or every night, the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index, which gives a great understanding of how the sentiment of the entire market is feeling, that closed last night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Guess what that's going to be? It's going to be right here at 20. If you're military, 20. Where was the price when the daily candle closed? In fact, we could look at the daily candle here. I just wanted to show you guys. If we looked at the price of where the daily candle closed, it was sitting at $57,000. Now, we're back close to that. We're back up here to 56.4, but we did dip down last night all the way down below $54,000. But despite the fact that we were only at 57, take a look at what the Fear and Greed Index did. Boom, 29. We are back squarely in the fear. Just to give you some kind of thoughts on this. Again, I covered this morning. We were down at 30 just a couple of, about a week and some change ago, 2 weeks ago. But the last two significant times we were this low, down towards 30 or a little bit below, we're talking about September of 2023 and then January of 2023. What was the Bitcoin price at those levels? Let's go back and take a look. September, we were sitting at $25,000 per Bitcoin coin. Back in January, we were sitting at $16,000 per coin. So right now, we are sitting at the exact same fear in the market, meaning the sentiment is scared and bearish, as we were sitting right before a big rally in January when we were at $16,000, at the same level right before a big rally in September at $25,000, and now we are sitting at 57, and we're still in the same amount of fear. This is a major, major reason to be bullish, everybody. Let's keep going deeper into it. If you guys are just joining in, yes, my voice is strange. I'm losing my voice. It's happening. I'm going to be here, though. Even if I squeak the whole way through, we're going to make this show keep going on. I want to bring to your guys' attention some cool stuff going on. I'm going to actually save this formation for just a little bit here, but I want to take a look at some other things kind of going on that are pretty cool. First of all, we talked pretty heavily about this zone between 54,000 and 55,000 the other day. It's just below our take profit. It's where if I were to turn off Lux Algo indicators and turn on my fixed range volume profile. Anyone who's wondering, we talked about the dips here being the most important. Guess what? This was a significant dip in our fixed range volume profile. That's one of the reasons why it's being defended. If we lose this level, the next level I'm looking for is the next dip in the fixed range volume down here at 50,000. While there's others in play, if I were to back this out and go maybe all the way back to the beginning of the bullish rally here. The next major dip, if we lose 50,000 to 48,000 area, because I know that says 50,000, but ultimately you have until about 48. I'll explain a little more of that why. The next major dip from fixed range is going to be coming in here roughly at about $40,000. But we do have a lot of support between us and that place at the moment. Turning back on, let's take a look at our Lux Algo indicators. Major level of support. We've already hit the lower take profit on the daily chart, but major level of support coming in here at that $50,000 level as well. That bullish order block where a boatload of bears will be exhausted and want to exit their trading positions. If you go up higher, let's say to the weekly chart, it goes a little bit lower than this, down towards 48,000, but we see some major support on almost every major channel of saying this level, if you get down to 50, 48, major level of bears being exhausted. When we take a look at high block, let's go over here. We're going to be looking at some altcoins on this just a little bit later, but I want to set the stage with Bitcoin before we get going. Bitcoin, the biggest liquidation we had here on the 6-month chart. I'm not zoomed in here, guys. I'm pretty spread out. We're talking about over the last 6 months. The biggest area of liquidity was sitting right here, just beneath 55,000. Well, we did answer that last night. Things could stay interesting and take us closer to 50. In fact, if I were to go to smaller time frames, like the monthly chart, for example, let me look at this one. Actually, I might want to go to the 3-month chart. Give me just 1 second. Yeah, no, it doesn't really get bright yellow. It just stays interesting until you drop a little bit below 50,000. Guess where to? 48,000. So even though I feel really good about what we just did with 55,000, and I'm giving it an outside chance that the bottom could have been in with that $53,000 price action we just dropped to, I'm not ruling out the potential to drop a little lower. In fact, some people are going to say, they're going to say, oh, well, we've been talking about 53,000. Maybe we just hit the bottom right there. What they're referencing is this resistance level we had back here in February. The actual level was 52,900. There is levels of 52,900 I think are interesting. We did not quite get there. Did we hit a level of support? Did we take out a lot of liquidations? Absolutely we did. And there is a chance out there, just like we told you there would be, that this could be the bottom. What happened today? Today is the day that people have been dreading for weeks now. Mt. Gox is officially being distributed back out to the people who lost money 10 years ago. However, that was supposed to be the big bad boogeyman that scares everyone. And sure enough, it did. For the last 3.5 weeks, people have been selling their Bitcoin in bulk. But before we even get into it, because I have more to talk about Bitcoin, I want to start off with a question here. I want to start off with a question because we've been covering this now for a while. What is the reason everyone's saying that crypto is crashing, specifically Bitcoin? Why is Bitcoin crashing over the last month? Because of Mt. Gox, because of Germany selling Bitcoin to cover some bills. We've heard people say that maybe they don't want to print more money, so they're going to sell Bitcoin to pay some of their governmental bills. But that explains why Bitcoin's price is crashing. That has nothing to do with Ethereum. That has nothing to do with Solana. That has nothing to do with Cardano or Polkadot or AVAX or ONDO. Why is the rest of the crypto markets crashing? And it's a very simple answer, everybody. This had nothing to do with Mt. Gox. This had nothing to do with Germany. This has nothing to do with what those articles that are trying to promote FUD and fear into the markets. It has to do with the fact that crypto has been explosive. I'm talking about Bitcoin and I'm talking about altcoins. In fact, it has set records in this bull market for being more explosive at this point in the bull market than ever before. So there has to be some great excuse for all of the whales, for all the institutions that didn't buy enough at lower levels, that didn't have the chance to get as much as they wanted. They have to come up with some grand excuse to manipulate price to go to the downside. However, they can only do it as long as there are weak-handed, weak-minded, impatient buyers in the space. As long as those people exist, which we had a lot of, then we can keep pushing price to the downside. But more and more, we're seeing all the weak-handed holders lead the space. And pretty soon, it's going to be nothing but people like me and most of you who say, I don't care how far we drop. I'm holding and I'm buying the dips. Anytime I get my hands on more fiat currency of any kind, I'm buying up more crypto because that's the long-term future. So ultimately, I just want you guys to think through that. The Mt. Gox, the Germany, has no reason why the rest of the altcoin space is crashing. Those are excuses for the manipulation and the suppression of price. I wanted to make sure you guys understood that before we went forward, but that's where we kind of sitting. That's where we're sitting right now in the markets, how you should understand what's happening. Let's get into some articles here. Some really cool things I saw on Twitter. This is going to be a new thing. I'm going to be starting to use more of things I find on Twitter. I think it's very fascinating. Some of you guys know Benjamin Cowan. I love Benjamin Cowan. I don't agree with him on everything he ever says, but I would say for the most part, him and I have some things in common. And today, I see a lot of things in common. Now, he posted something earlier today saying, is this the new trend line we are supposed to watch for Bitcoin? You can see we had a similar one back in 2019. Guys, I'm going to get into this because we are seeing something develop on the charts that looks very, very similar to what 2019 looked like. And what he's referring to, this is right now. This is the right now thing. We have a descending level of support in play here. I'm going to do one better. We also have a descending level of resistance, but a descending level of support that looks eerily similar to the descending level of support that we had back here in 2019. Let's go back to the charts. Let's take a look at what was happening back then. Let's go back to the daily chart and just take a look here. Now, I'm going to show you another chart here in a second that explains this more I might as well explain it here in a second. But you guys can see here in 2019, after bottoming out in the bull market, we did all this before the halving. The halving didn't happen until May of 2020, but we had this explosive bull market, not to new highs, not to beat out the bull market of 2017, but explosive bull market that ended up having a steep correction. It ended up being 50% before COVID, but either way, a steep correction. But you had yourself a nice level of a descending level of support. But in fact, when you take a little bit deeper look at it and you clone this, you had yourself a descending channel. What traditionally happens with descending channels? If you guys have been doing technical analysis for any length of time, you would know that more often than not, very heavily descending channels like this break to the upside. Sure enough, that's exactly what happened in January of 2020. It did end up correcting because of COVID, but that's what we call a black swan event. I do not count those as major things to keep an eye on. This was an unseen, unforetold thing that nobody planned on. It changed everything. I've said on record, I don't think if COVID never happens, I don't think we see Bitcoin below 8,400 ever again. Connect here again. I don't know why you just did that to me. TradingView, thank you for that. I don't think we see below 8,400 ever again after January of 2020. But COVID comes in, it crashes price. We quickly rally right back up where? To 8,400, set our base of support, and then rally to the upside. Guess what's happening right now? Yes, it took a little longer. Yes, we went past the halving event. But when you zoom in here, there's a couple of outliers here, but we are sitting in a descending channel once again, ladies and gentlemen. And these traditionally break to the upside. But I want to show you another thing. Another thing that you guys want to know happened in 2019 and is happening once again at this point. Same thing, Benjamin Cowan crushing it today. The divergence of Bitcoin and the SPX, that's the S&P 500, is something we also saw in 2019. What's he talking about? Look at this yellow line. The yellow line is the S&P 500. The candles are Bitcoin. Notice we get a rally up out of the bear market, but then as Bitcoin takes a nice correction for a couple of months, the S&P 500 continues to climb. Yes, it crashes when we have COVID, just like Bitcoin, but the S&P 500 continues to climb. What is happening right now? I'll zoom in here a little bit more so you guys can see it. Right now, or the last couple of months, Bitcoin has been declining. What's the S&P 500 doing? It's rallying once again. I see the chat. What happened to your voice? Wrecked? Yes, it's wrecked. It is what it is. If you can't stand my voice for the rest of the day, you can leave. I get it. You know, I don't know if I can't hear myself right now because I have these headphones on. I don't get feedback, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Either way, guys, this is exactly what we're seeing once again. If I were to come over here and take a look at the stock market, let's go over here. S&P 500. You guys can see here, we're just continuing day after day after day to set new highs, new up and to the right. Is a correction coming on the S&P 500? Yeah, as the correction is coming at some point. And I actually kind of think that this is going to be a great opportunity for people to take profits from the stock market, which is a little overextended. I'm not going to call it a bubble. A bubble would imply like a major crash coming. I think the expectation is that at some point, the stock market should probably correct about 10%. But don't be surprised if people aren't really trusting the dollar. I mean, let's just think about this, guys. Bitcoin is falling. It's not like the dollar is rallying. The dollar has been falling out of the last week as well, right? So nobody's running to the dollar for their strength. However, I want to take profit on my stocks. I'm up really, really high. I take a look at the crypto markets, especially Bitcoin, which there's so many sentimental and fundamental reasons to be bullish on. And I see it's been down. Where do you think the wisest people are going to go put their money? Into a failing currency that has numbered days, or into the future of wealth and storage of wealth? I think it's a golden opportunity for the correction on the S&P 500 to lead to a massive rally in Bitcoin and the rest of the crypto space. Just guess what? It's going to be mostly the whales and institutions that get to take advantage of it. Now, you might be wondering, all right, Tim, what was this other thing you want to talk about here? Why should we be bullish right now? Everything seems so doomy and gloomy. I want to take a look at this chart. This was put over here today. This is not his chart. He just reposted it today, but this Dan Crypto Trades, I don't know him. I followed him today because I liked a couple of his tweets. But I want to remind people of this chart right here. And where are we in this chart? Ultimately, this chart tells a cycle of rallying into a bull market top, having a long but confusing bear market down, and then during the sideways accumulation phase, it's really hard for people to be confident until there's already so much bullishness. And ultimately, while most markets only see one of these, if you take a look at Bitcoin, let's just take a look at the last two bull markets. You see two waves of this. As I said, bull market top 2017, bear market crash. We see a first wave, not the end of the bull market, but the first wave, and then a big correction. Then a bigger wave to the top of the bull market. I think what we're going to see is we're in the first wave right now. As we said with the fear and greed index, we're sitting back at 29 in very much fear category. I think we're ending the first wave of bullishness and we're about to restart the second wave, right? So when I look at this, you see two of these things play out every single bull market. You have your hope, you have your optimism, your belief, your thrill, your euphoria. Everyone's so stupid bullish. We were just here, but then you start to see the complacency and anxiety and denial. And guess what we've hit here last night? I fully believe that we are in panic mode. The amount of people saying that they should sell, the amount of bears that are coming out full flex, just like no shame whatsoever, despite the fact that most of them have been telling you to sell since we were at $30,000, claiming that that was the top of this bullish run. The fact that they've got it wrong for the last year almost, and yet now all of a sudden, because price is back down below $55,000, they all of a sudden were right the whole time. No, that's not where we are. But it is working to cause a lot of people to panic. And guess what's going to start happening? Guess what's happening? We're going to start moving over here, and we're going to start rallying again. And there's going to be a level of disbelief. This is a sucker's rally is what it says. That's going to happen. Watch Bitcoin's price. If I zoom in here more, watch Bitcoin's price at some point correct. Do we correct here at 55? Do we correct here at 50? We're going to start rallying back up, and we're going to get back up above 60K, and everyone's going to be saying, oh, look to take profit. It's just a sucker's rally, a dead cat bounce, only to be by the time we hit new highs, then people will transfer and say maybe there's some hope that we actually have a bull market, and then we lead into our second leg of the bull market, and it goes crazy, crazy high. I just want to kind of show you this once again. Guys, we are watching the pain, the panic, the disbelief that people are saying, man, we cannot go up. The bull market's over, and this is just how cycles go in cryptocurrency. I hope that this is encouraging you and making you feel very, very happy. And if that's not enough, let me show you more reasons why. Oh, look at this, guys. We just had another whale today buy $184 million of Bitcoin from Coinbase. Yes. Yes. Are some Mt. Gox people going to sell? Yes. Is Germany going to probably continue selling? Yes. But guess what? Every single time that they're selling $100 million worth of Bitcoin, there's some other whale coming and scooping it up because these prices are delicious and they're going to get it. Now, I'm going to get a drink. I can feel it in my voice. We're not even halfway through the show, and I can feel it. You guys can hear it. We're powering through, though, baby. If you guys are grateful that I'm continuing to do the show with half of a voice, you got to smash the like button. I'm normally not like this. Normally not this squeaky. It is what it is, though. It's time to talk about altcoins, though, everybody. I know a lot of you guys are here for the altcoin conversation, and we are here Or first, I want to give a big shout out, guys. We actually have a brand new sponsor here at the channel. It's been so awesome and encouraging. T-Shirt, when I started this channel a little under 2 years ago, right? So November of 2022, we're coming up on 2 years. But, we took a big, big risk telling me, my wife, and him, at the time, his fiance, my pregnant wife, by the way, hey, we want to start a YouTube channel from scratch. And we think we have a long-term future here that we can make some money. And you know what? The women in our life are so amazing and they're crazy enough to say, you know what, go for it. I'm not telling you there's never been a day where they're like, guys, what are you doing? This isn't working. It's been a long road. It's been a long road. There's a lot of times where we weren't making a single penny. In fact, we were in a loss because of what we invested. But as we're growing and growing, more sponsors are seeing it. They're watching you guys, our community, and they're falling in love with you guys and saying, we want to be a part of the growth of the investing bros. So if you guys are excited about that too, shout out to you guys. You guys have been awesome. Keep this up. But I want to give a shout out to our new sponsor, CoinW. CoinW is a newer exchange, no KYC, no need to have a VPN. The reason I really love them is they actually have over 300 different pairs for spot trading. A lot of you guys who are getting into trading, and I want to help you guys get into trading, you should be starting on spot trading. They still have over 100 different pairs of leverage trading, but I really, really love what they're doing here, what they're growing. We got a long road before any regulators come for them. So shout out, first of all, thank you to CoinW for believing in our channel and backing it up with money to help support us. But I also really do think that this could be one of the greatest trading exchanges out there. No disrespect to Blowfin. We're still very grateful for Blowfin giving us an affiliate link. We still have an affiliate link, but I really encourage you guys to be getting and signing up with CoinW. We will be adding this to our Discord as another way. If you guys are trading with CoinW, you can enter to win a giveaway every single week just by doing trades in there. And so shout out to CoinW. Go sign up today. Link is down below in the description. Let's get into some talks about our altcoins. I got to start off by saying the reason I want to talk about altcoins is I told you yesterday, I got some things wrong. I honestly thought there was going to be enough strength at 60,000 for Bitcoin and where those levels of altcoins were to potentially hold some sign of a support level. It didn't happen, right? So even though I told you my highest probability was we were going to bounce earlier than this, I did give scenarios. I called them disaster scenarios for altcoins that if Bitcoin did fall below 60,000, if it did start to head 255 or even lower, watch out for these levels on altcoins. And by golly, almost every single one of our disaster scenarios has played out. Let's start off with Ethereum. Let me go back over into the charts. Now, Ethereum went a little bit lower than our disaster scenario, but we got kind of stinking close. What was our disaster scenario? We were talking about this when we were way back up here, back up above $3,500. And I said, hey, guys, there's going to be some strong support around 32. Sure enough, guess what? We bounced, and it looked like we're going to get a breakout. But I said, hey, if we lose 32, keep an eye on 28. Keep an eye down here on 28. Why was that? Because first of all, I have it here in my notes. We did have some high levels of support in this region, depending on what charts you were looking at. But we had a lot of order blocks. Let's see here, 12-hour. There we go. We had order blocks and take profits at this level down here towards $2,800. We also, when you went over and looked at liquidations, let's take a look here on Ethereum liquidations. We saw that there wasn't a lot below this, but there was a little window of bright yellow right here at $2,800, right? So now Ethereum, could it go lower? Could it go to 2,500? It could. I'm not saying it's impossible, but that, just like Bitcoin, was the last level of significant long liquidations that traders could go to annihilate. And guess what happens, guys? Guess what we're days away from? And we haven't talked about it yesterday, but we talked about it earlier this week, and you guys should know about this. On Monday, and I have not seen anything change its mind on this, on Monday, the 8th, that's the expectation that the ETH ETF could go trading live. That's going to be very, very bullish. And the reason why is because unlike Bitcoin, where Bitcoin rallied into the live trading of the ETF and then had a small crash for 2 weeks, this time on Ethereum, we have been crashing into the announcement or into the event. And so this is a classic sell the rumor, manipulate the price back down, eliminate all of the gains. I mean, this is right here, just so you guys know, the last time we were down here at 2,800, this is when they announced that the Ethereum ETF was going to be a thing. right? So we rallied from 2,800 all the way up to 3,900 solely on the hype that the Ethereum ETF was coming. Guess what? With last night's move, we actually dropped below where the hype cycle started. That is a classic whale move to bring the boat back, because this is going to be bullish. Monday, ladies and gentlemen, we could see Ethereum ETFs trading live. Watch with these lower prices, the supply just flood in and bulk up the Ethereum price. But that's one right there. We talked about 2,800 on Ethereum. Boom. You got it. If you'd put your buying orders for our disaster scenario, you got entered into an Ethereum long. Let's keep moving on, though, to another one. One that's actually doing very well today, Solana. Solana, we said actually 120. You didn't quite get 120. You actually got about 112. What is this low? Let me look at the exact low. 121 and 15 cents. All right, so I missed it by $1.15. But I told you guys, watch out for $120 on Solana. Just so much support in this range from a Lux Algo perspective. Let's see where we are. This weekly chart. Yeah, but right here, Lux Algo situation with a nice level of strong support here on the 4-hour. This is our take profit in a strong order block here in play from not that long ago. And then you come over here to liquidations. Let's take a look here at Solana. Now, I think this one, I want to look at the monthly chart because that'll give me better information about what Solana was doing. Give me 1 second to let this load. Sure enough, what you see here on Solana, in fact, actually, this one is one you could probably see it anywhere. The 1 month chart, there's just no liquidity beneath us. If I go to the 3 month chart, boom, no liquidity beneath us. If I go to the 6 month chart, we're zooming out here. No liquidity beneath us for a long while until you get to 100. And even then, there's nothing of significance in the space. The reason why I'm so bullish on Solana right now, and I said 120 was the disaster scenario, is because there's just nothing. There is nothing that is causing or suppressing Solana's price to go any lower. And because of that, it's one of the biggest movers on the day, up 6% since the daily candle opened. It is back up above 130, pushing at 135. Now, tomorrow morning, we'll do a lot more in-depth technical analysis. I don't know why it keeps disconnecting, but I wanted to cover in basis today all the things we saw about these disaster scenarios playing out borderline perfectly. I told you the other day, eliminate perfect from your vocabulary. These aren't perfect. They are extremely good calls that we have made here for our altcoins. Let's keep moving on to another one. This one I did not think. I lost so much faith in this prediction. But some of you who've been watching remember I said, hey, guys, keep an eye on ONDO potentially making its way back down here to 90 cents, where we had a major order block where the bears would be exhausted. If you come over and you look at high block, let's take a look at let's do 1 month chart on this one and take a look at ONDO. Major level of liquidations at 98 and then 90 cents. Boom, 91 cents technically, but boom, right there, we have taken out these heavy liquidities. Could we go a little lower to 82? Maybe, but now that we've hit that level, now that we've hit these strong order blocks, there is again here at 82, another strong order block, but we've bounced right here. I'm very, very big on ONDO. Love what it is doing right now. A lot of people sleeping on ONDO. A lot of people dislike it because of the unlocks that are going to happen in January of 2025. Guys, I want you to know the reason I'm so bullish on ONDO is despite the fact that they're going to more than double their supply between now and the top of the bull market, the amount of money that's going to come into ONDO because of what they are doing fundamentally is going to be extremely bullish. And the opportunity to buy at 90 cents, yeah, I scooped it up last night. I scooped it up. And guess what? If we hit 81, I'll get that one as well. But I was so excited. I did not think I was going to get that scenario. Did not think I was going to get the opportunity to buy 90 cents. So ONDO, and sure enough, last night we did it. It hadn't been that price since way back here in May. You'll love to see it. My last one I want to take a look at is Chainlink. Now, Chainlink, we called around $12. It went a little bit below $12, but I said, hey, it's going to be somewhere just below. In fact, right here at about 1170 was the call we kind of made here. And guess what? Did it go a little lower? Yeah. This is why I say eliminate the word perfect. But guess where we are back this morning? After that big dip down to 11, almost $11 on the dot, we are back up above 12. Why? Well, it was the daily take profit. Depending on that's the 8-hour. The daily take profit here, all the way down here. It was the 8-hour take profit. Also, when I go over here and I take a look at high block and I take a look at Link, once again, there's just not a lot of liquidations to drop below this level. In fact, there weren't even major ones to get us down there. But depending on what time frame you're looking at, let's look at the 3-month here. We took out that big bulk of heavy, long liquidity down here at $12. There's nowhere to go but to the upside. These things, there's more coins out there, but these are the 4 that I wanted to focus on today. Disaster scenarios are in play. People are able to buy the opportunity of a lifetime. Guys, we were talking about 15 to 20x's for these coins before this big crash. Now that we've had 20 to 30% more added onto their dips, there's opportunities that some of these coins, some of these altcoins are still going to see more like 30x if the bull market continues in the way that it should. And right now, I showed you even historically. Yes, this was a pullback. Yes, there's a lot of people caught off guard. Yes, even I didn't think that we were going to go this low again. But when you look back at the history of how crypto prices have moved, it is not abnormal for altcoins to drop 60, 70% in the middle of a bull market. It happened in 2021. It happened all the way back in 2016. This is a normal thing to happen. Right now, if you are reading articles or you're reading X accounts and you're listening to the bears try to fudge you out of your altcoins, fudge you out of your Bitcoin, it is all a part of the system to let the poor stay poor and the rich get richer. But if you can learn to think the way the rich think, if you learn to think the way the whales think and move the way the whales move, that is what's going to cause generational wealth to come into your family via crypto. And I said this yesterday, guys, and I'm going to say it again because I think most of you need to hear it again. Let's just pretend the crypto crashes. Let's pretend the crypto goes down. If that happens and you are forced to put your money back into US dollars, something bigger than money is happening in the world. Something more catastrophic than how many pennies you have in your bank account is happening in the world. Crypto is the last financial hope worldwide to save economies. Every single major economy around the world is in debt over their heads. We're not far away. If we don't get something like cryptocurrency to come in and redistribute wealth, we're going to get to a place where every single country is going to have to quadruple or more their taxes just to pay off their debt, not even to provide household incomes or provide services for the general public. Crypto is so needed. So I'm not telling you to go mortgage your house and go into extreme debt yourself to invest in crypto, but I am saying if you're freaking out and saying you're worried that the bear market is upon us and that we're just going much lower, I'm telling you right now, money is not going to be your problem. Food might be your problem. Shelter might be your problem. Safety might be your problem. I don't think money is going to be a problem. I don't think it's going to happen. I think crypto is about to rally. But I'm telling you, even if the worst comes in, you are better leaving your money in crypto, just like the whales and the newer institutions who love the future of cryptocurrency. You're better off leaving it there than capitulating and selling all of your supply to them. Eric Wallen says, listen to Tim. He's getting choked up. Oh, man. This is rough. See, Eric made fun of me the other day. He said I was faking. And unless I'm the greatest actor of this generation, do you know how hard it would be to fake this voice for 40 minutes straight? I've been talking for 40 minutes straight. I mean, maybe I'm just that good, Eric. I'm that good. It's commitment. Goodness gracious. All right. That ultimately was what I had planned for today. We can get into some Q&A here. Shout out once again to CoinW sponsoring this video. Make sure, guys, if you guys are enjoying this episode, smash the like button, hit subscribe. Drew B said, hit the like for Tim, toughen it out for. I don't want to be like I'm a super. It's my voice. I don't feel sick. Like Tuesday, I felt sick. Tuesday, I felt my throat was like closing up. Like I couldn't breathe. Today, I just feel like I was like at a football game yesterday and was screaming my head off, and I lost my voice. I wasn't. I didn't really get that loud yesterday, but your voice made some views. All right, Mark Dutch. Thank you for that. Eric Wallen, I have been hydrating. I was about to say I've been hydrating like a fish, but that actually doesn't make sense because fish don't have to hydrate. I've been hydrating like a whale. They breathe air, but they drink water too, and they stay hydrated pretty well. First Flight Aviation 2024 says you focus only on a few crypto. Arrow today was the best. Okay, yeah. Just I don't go and cover everything. I always kind of clarify. Not everything I say is the only things that are bullish. If I were to cover every single coin every single day, every single stream would be 24 hours long and get very, very boring. Let's take a look at Arrow. Arrow's doing extremely well right now, actually. Hitting the take profit, getting into that green cloud in the daily chart that just formed here from Luxalgo. Up pretty significantly from the close yesterday. How much is it up on the daily candle so far? 24%. I know you guys have been talking about Aerodrome a lot. Here's what I'll say. Aerodrome is up pretty heavily today. Aerodrome was down pretty much more significant than everything else. It was down 68% just from May, let alone the top of the bull market, right? So this one, and I'm not saying the coin's dead. I'm just saying you're going to have bigger bounces in coins that have bigger falls. This coin is down 83% since the high back in April. Most coins are not down that far. So the bigger the fall, the bigger the bounce. I don't know enough about Aerodrome to say, is it a dead coin or not coin? I'll say it's doing a great job today. And if you were brave enough and lucky enough, because I will call that one lucky, to buy in here at 41 cents, good for you. But the problem is, if you bought back here just a week or so ago at 75 cents, you're still in loss pretty badly from where current prices are. And I know most things are in loss still from a week ago, but you're still down 31% from a week ago. So I wouldn't get too cocky. That being said, I'm sure we had dramatically overextended. I love what I'm seeing here. The oscillators are dramatically overextended and look like they want to bounce up, but even more so, anyone who's been following me and you use Luxalgo, which by the way, if you guys love what I do with Luxalgo, if you've been watching the charts for a while and you want to use it as well, the greatest trading indicator out there, this is another side right here. The oscillators saying that Aerodrome should be about to go dramatically to the upside. Why? Because the money flow is really negative. But at the same time, we definitely have bullish divergence here on the oscillators. And that bright red is excessive selling. Excessive selling meaning there's suppression of price. But when they leave, price often shoots to the upside. And guess what? We are going to here very soon get a reversal. We're going to get a green momentum dot, and that money flow is going to go up, and the excessive sellers will leave. I'm just curious here. The last time this happened, it wasn't a major rally, but it was decent. But this one is one I think, with how suppressed the price is, could be pretty dramatic. I'm curious here as well. If I were to do this, did we come down? Is that the golden pocket we just got hit the price of? Not quite. Is it going to be if I were linear? Or below there? Okay. No, not quite to the golden pocket. That was just a theory I had. It's hard to eyeball that one. I don't think we have to hit the golden pocket back down to 30 cents. I just wanted to see if that was an added booster to Aerodrome. But yeah, a lot of signs here that Aerodrome has a reversal coming back to the upside. At the very least, it could get back up here to 75 cents where you had the daily smart trail and you have an order block in play that actually could serve as a little bit of a boost. If we get back up here with that excessive amount of bears that we get exhausted, you could see that be even more buying pressure to come back up and hit one of these bearish breaker blocks back up above $1. Now I'm curious here. Let's go all the way to the hourly chart because we had a big boost here. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. We're not quite done necessarily, but don't be surprised if on the hourly chart, I mean the next day or two, we get rejected here on 54 cents, give or take. You're going to see the oscillators are getting back to being overextended here. And if I go to lower time frames, like the 15-minute, you're probably at least going to correct back down towards 48. So maybe get up to 54, come back down to 48. That's still bullish. I just want to see if we can hold that 48 cents or do we need to drop all the way back down to 45 on Aerodrome. That's what I'm kind of watching on those shorter time frames. But daily chart, I think if you're buying right now, if you believe in the fundamentals long term, great opportunity. Great opportunity to buy here long term. See ya, Mr. JTX saying, I can't listen to this voice any longer. See you. It happens, man. We can't all do it. Can't all do it. Thomas Ligthart. That's a good name. It's a cool name. He said, got a question for you that I can't seem to find an answer for. All right. That's a good segue, but that was the end of your comment. All right, here we go. You comment again. Tim, when you look at the liquidation chart on CoinGlass on a yearly time frame, the bars just keep going on horizon. So I use High Block. It is a service you have to pay for, but I'll look at CoinGlass, and I'm assuming you're talking about the liquidation charts. And you said the year. Let's go see what's happening here. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be heavy liquidity down here just because of how good the buy options were down there. I also find the High Block is a much more reliable liquidations chart for Bitcoin. Let's go back to Bitcoin here. So on the 3-month, which is going to show us darn near as much as what we saw on the High Blocks yearly one, 55 significant. Let's go longer. Let's start with 6 months. Let's see what 6 months on Bitcoin looks like. Yep, most liquidity's right there, even though we're seeing the prices back here at 40. Let's go to the whole year. Let's see if there's any type of similarity here. That's a little bit. You got some bright yellow. Well, that's where we currently are. You're not seeing price here, but the brightest yellow kind of coming here. You have a little bit of light green at 34, a little bit of light green at 24. It's going to happen. Just is. If I were to go 2 years, let's see what that one. I'm probably going to see some at 15.5. Yeah. You see a little bit of yellow down here at 16,000, give or take. So that's just because, guess what? There were people who saw the bull market bottom and longed, and now they put in their stop loss and say, if we drop below instead of brand new low, yes, I'll get liquidated. I'll exit the space. But it goes on and on and on. I don't know exactly what the question is there. But I would say this is kind of looking at a whole lot that's not very important. I think looking at the 6 month or 3 month is about as far out as you really want to go. And that one is telling us we're pretty oversold at the moment, all things considered. Eric Wallen says, Tim probably sang one too many hallelujahs at his church's 4th of July festival yesterday. No, I didn't. I didn't sing any hallelujahs. Divin or Divin? I don't know how that name. Hi, good evening. If the Bitcoin is top for now, do we have an alt season this year? Let me make sure you guys understand. Altcoin seasons don't mean Bitcoin is done. Let's take a look at what is in reference altcoin season. I got to take a look at the Bitcoin dominance chart to do this. Let's turn off Lux Algo just to get less noise here on the chart. Let's go to the weekly chart. Altcoin seasons start/show themselves when the Bitcoin dominance chart falls off of a cliff, right? So back here in December of 2020, Bitcoin dominance set a high for that bull market or that bear market up at 73%, and then boom, fell off like a cliff. If you go back to the other altcoin season that started in February of 2017, this one wasn't Bitcoin necessarily rallying, but it was Bitcoin staying pretty steady up here in the high 90s of percentile of dominance. And then boom, February 2017, the altcoins come in, Bitcoin dominance plummets, right? So February of 2017 and pretty much January of 2021. Let's look at what Bitcoin looked at like on those time frames. Let's go to this chart right here. All right. January of 2021. Kind of zoom in here. Did we have a little bit of a correction later in January for 2 weeks? Yeah, we did. But January of 2021, while Bitcoin had an explosive rally up to this point, we actually just saw a small little dip and then continue the upside all the way until April. If you go back to Bitcoin dominance, if you go to April, we just keep plummeting all the way until May. Bitcoin was bullish throughout this whole phase right here. And yet the Bitcoin dominance plummeted. Why? Because this was altcoin season. Same thing if I go back to Bitcoin, I go back to February of 2017. What's February of 2017 look like? Boom. Do we have a small correction right in here in March? Yeah. For about 3 weeks, we moved to the downside. But Bitcoin would continue to go to the upside all the way until December of 2017. You back to Bitcoin dominance. Look at this. We start falling off a cliff. We don't really catch ourselves until all the way later on into September, October 2017. So when people say, oh, is Bitcoin topped in? Does that mean that an altcoin season is going to come? No. No, that's not what that means whatsoever. In fact, if the Bitcoin top is in, that means altcoin season is past and an entire bear market is coming. During the altcoin season, Bitcoin will continue to move to the upside, just not as explosively as the altcoins will. But historically, and I've talked about this before, altcoins, I'm not saying altcoins won't rally between now and then. But if you're waiting for true altcoin season, you're going to be waiting for multiple months. In fact, I think you're going to have to wait probably until after the election, more than likely late November, early December at the earliest, maybe even waiting into January to see the real explosiveness. Between now and then, Bitcoin and Ethereum might outpace a lot of your favorite cryptos. Just because the Bitcoin dominance, I think will continue the upside. I think the Ethereum dominance will continue the upside. But something will flip in November or December, and Bitcoin and Ethereum will still grow up, and they'll still go higher. But oscillators will just fire off like they're on fire, like their hair's on fire. And it's a sight to watch. And why do I say it's going to happen? Because it's happened consistently along the same cycle of the 4-year cycle in the last 2 bull markets. So until I see something different, I'm going to continue to believe that. And I'll tell you this right now, as long as, and again, I think we're going to see a peak just like 2020, 2021, as long as this Bitcoin dominance chart continues to slowly but surely creep to the upside, it's not altcoin season. I don't think altcoin season starts until we probably are closer to, if not above, 60% on the Bitcoin dominance. Good questions in chat. I like that question. Bank of Big Head, I think you just joined here, buddy. You said, what do you think about the ETH ETF potentially coming next week? Talked about it earlier today in the show. People aren't talking about that a lot. Ethereum's crashing. I showed you. I'll show you again just for anyone who missed it. Ethereum, let me zoom in here because I'm zoomed out to showing you the long-term perspective. The hype of Ethereum, of the ETF coming, started back in May on the 15th, right? So last night, the price of Ethereum dropped below the original hype for the ETF to begin with. If that's not bullish, I don't know what is. That's going to allow a lot of institutional buyers and whales who missed the boat to buy in the same level retail bought in back here. We have some giveaways today, so I gotta make sure I don't end the show without it. I will say, VIP traders, I told you yesterday that because of July 4th, we're gonna do a VIP trading tonight. I hope you guys understand me. I had to cancel Tuesday. I had to cancel Monday because of my voice, which we normally do Monday, but I was getting sick on Monday night. And I am assuming you guys can hear my voice and understand it's going to be pretty hard. So we're just have to scrap this week for VIPs. I need to rest. I have a show tomorrow. Maybe T-Shrimp can talk more than me. We have a show tomorrow, and then I'll be able to rest the rest of Saturday and Sunday. And hopefully Monday I have a normal voice once again. All right. Let's keep going on here. Redline said, remember how Tim was talking about a weak minds and weak hands? Hive, I hate to say it, but Tim was talking. Oh. Sometimes I should read it before I don't want to call anybody out. And I said this earlier today. I'm going to say this again. Anyone who's watching this is saying, Tim, thank you for the raw speech. Thank you for the encouragement. But I'm telling you, the pit of my stomach hurts. I'm in over my head. My portfolio is down 50, 60%. I'm not going to, I see other people do this all the time. I see where people are complaining and worrying, and they reach out to some of their favorite influencers or their favorite minds, and they're saying, what should I do? Should I sell? Are we going higher? Are we going lower? I'm freaking out. My portfolio is dramatically down. And then they get told, get out of here. If you can't ride with the volatility, if you can't stand the ups and downs, you don't even deserve to be here. Get out of here. I don't like that. Crypto is here not to make the rich richer, but to give those of us who maybe didn't get a lot of daddy's money, just to give us a chance. But we have to learn as we go. And I want you to know that if you're feeling really sick to your stomach right now about the markets, if your portfolio is down, your feelings of being borderline depressed are validated. I feel you. I understand you. But I also want to urge you, just like childbirth or dawn, and I know it's a weird comparison there, but I want to explain it. Start with dawn. There's that saying, it's always darkest right before the dawn. It's always the pit black light right before the sun comes up. I'm not a mother. I have a wife who gave birth. And I've talked to many women. Most women will tell you the most excruciating part of giving birth. It's painful the whole way through when you're delivering. But The moment before the baby is born is probably the worst pain the mother goes through. And a second later, that baby comes out and the pain is gone and you forget all about it. And you just gave birth to the most beautiful thing in your life. It's the same thing. I want to encourage you. You're in pain right now and I hear you and I feel you. But I want to encourage you. It's always darkest before the dawn. It always sucks the most right before the promised land comes. Hold on. Hold on. There's so many reasons right now to continue to stay bullish. I feel your pain. I hear you. Keep watching this channel. Subscribe to the channel. Watch us every single day. Join our free Discord. We have membership options. You can pay and get coaching and feedback. If you can't afford it, don't do it. Anyone who can't afford to get coaching from me, T-Shroom, Crux, to help you, you don't have to pay for it. But just being here every day, being in our Discord and learning from others, I encourage you, stick around. Don't capitulate out. The brightness, the glory, the rallies are coming. They're right around the bend. All right, guys, it is time. We actually have 2 giveaways today, but did we get the second one? Did we get the wheel? Crux built these really cool wheels for us. But Crux, I think you're in chat. Did we ever get the second wheel with only the 6 people? I don't know if we did. Oh, we did. I think we did. All right, give me a second, guys. I gotta make sure these wheels are up here. All right, boom. All right. Cool beans. Giveaway time, guys. In case you're wondering what these giveaways are, I just talked about our membership options, but the different perks are, if you're in Pro Bros, you get access to both of these. If you're in Technicals, you get access to a weekly $50 giveaway. And if you're in Basics, you get access to 1 monthly giveaway of $100. Well, guess what? Today's the first Friday of the month. So we're doing a $100 giveaway and our weekly $50 giveaway. And we will announce our Blowfin giveaway as well. But let's start off here. Let's start off with our weekly $50 giveaway. We got, I think, over 12 names in here. So we're continuing to grow here in our memberships. I know a lot more of you guys are going to sign up here very soon. But let's spin this to see who wins $50 this week. I'm right alongside you guys. I have no idea who it's going to be. But Scooper 810, Scooper 810. I'm not gonna write that. I'm gonna have to leave that one there. Congratulations. I will make sure to contact you in Discord. We'll get you your $50. Congratulations. Thank you for being a member. And guess what? That just means your entire month you paid for it, you actually benefited from signing up with the bros. Let's talk about the $100 giveaway though. There's less people because we took out a lot of technicals, but this one, mostly I think of Pro Bros, the opportunity to win $100. Oh my gosh. All right. This is a benefit. This is a benefit of not a lot of people being in here at the moment. Doc B was our winner for our Blowfin giveaway last week. Doc B51, you are our winner of our monthly $100 giveaway. It's not rigged. I have no control over this wheel, guys. It's just how the cookie crumbled. I don't have a fancy wheel for our Blowfin giveaway, but for our Blowfin giveaway today, we already have it selected. It was random. Bo, B-E-O, congratulations. You will be getting from Blowfin a $50 trading bonus. But once again, thank you to Blowfin. Shout out to them. If you have them, trade with our link. But I want to give a shout out to our new sponsor and our recommended trading exchange partner, and that is CoinW. Sign up with them in the link down below. Congratulations to all of our winners for the day. It has been a fantastic Friday. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. On the way out, though, you guys got to smash the like button. Gosh, can't even end it with the right voice. Smash the like button. Hit subscribe. I'll see you tomorrow morning. T-Shirt will be back 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be talking a lot more about altcoins and this dip. With that said, love you guys. See you next time.
Trying to make paper, turn that vanity cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots stack bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros. Army pipe, lethal on trade. Entries and exits, worthy of praise. Tim, the professor of the TA. Shout it out loud on the PA. Teach Shrooms news, catch a word. Doing better than what he deserves. Beamer, leave no evidence. Soon fly coop with his dividends. Trying to make paper, turn that vanity cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots stack bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros.